this film wasn't as good the second time around. What's up everybody, back today to talk about Sinister 2, and yeah, it's the second time I've seen it. This time I paid. The last time I went to a screener and I signed something saying that I wouldn't talk about it. So I just made a post on my Facebook page for this channel. Now I can talk about it because it's out in theaters. The film's directed by Syrian Foy, who did Citadel a couple years ago. I didn't care for that film either. This film is better than that one, but it's not as good as Sinister Part 1. So let's get into it a little bit. The story is that Deputy so-and-so from the first one, played by James Ransom, is, looking into Bagul. He's investigating it, and he runs across this woman who has these two twin boys, and they're kind of being influenced by Bagul, and, chaos ensues, horror, jump scares, all that stuff. So let's get into the good and the bad without spoiling it for you. First of all, the best thing about this movie is probably James Ransom, who plays Deputy so-and-so, and he's just kind of like the comic relief. He plays kind of this goofy cop, if you remember from the first one, and I do like his character. I think he's a really good actor. He definitely elevated this film a little bit. And the second good thing is that this film explores Bagul, how he kind of gets into the kids' heads a little bit. That was kind of missed in the first movie. It focused more on Ethan Hawke, becoming obsessed with the films and all that stuff, which I really liked about the first one. This one focuses on the kids, although they didn't wind up explaining much about them. I'll get to that in a minute. And the third thing I liked was that the kid that's supposed to be the bad kid really comes off like a bad kid. He just seemed like a little dickhead. I want to slap him a few times. And the kids were pretty decent actors, I gotta give them that. But there is a ton of flaws, just like every horror movie that comes out these days. A ton of stuff wrong with it. I noticed a lot more stuff the second time. I was a little more gracious the first time I saw it, and I gave it a 3.5, and I'll probably keep the score the same, but the whole thing is based on whether you like the first film. If you like the first film, you'll like the second film. So let's get into the bad parts real quick. First of all, Bagul, there's a problem with him. All he does is creep around, and it gets a little old after a while. I mean, he juts out at you. He's behind you, he's in front of you, he's not there, he's there. It's jump scares. It gets a little old after a while. He either needs to off somebody or do something, talk, I don't care. A little animation, a little movement, something. This one, I mean, he does a slightly more, he's in the movie more, but it's just like he's always standing there. It's not like he's doing anything really. I know he's supposed to be doing something to the kids, but he's not really doing anything on screen, and it's kind of like, yeah, he's standing there, he's in the photo, he's on the computer screen, blah, blah, blah. And I really wanted to see more of his origin, and they don't describe anything hardly at all. There's this little scene where they go into this ham radio thing, and I don't want to ruin it for you, but it just was kind of conflicting itself, I felt a little bit. You see the snuff films from the first movie, and then this one goes in to say that, he can basically attack you through any media sort of type thing. And it just wasn't really consistent. It didn't feel consistent to me, at least, with the stuff they've shown in the movies. And it just was like, kind of stupid. And the snuff films in this one, which were a big part of the first one, those are creepy as fuck. They're not as good in this one. There's still some decent kills. I like the first one in this movie. But the rest, they try to get more and more crazy, and it's just kind of like, all right, whatever. It gets a little old after a while. So more of the same from the first movie. Like I said, the first film, in my opinion, was still a lot better than this one. And of course, the jump scares, but I'm not going to nitpick on that. And they had the other cliche where, the person yells at you, and then when he yells at you, his evil face comes out, which I always laugh at that. And the ghost kids in this movie, there's a lot more ghost kids. So if you didn't like that part about the first movie, you probably won't like this one too much because it's a lot of ghost kid shit. So I'm going to give the film a 3 out of 5, and that whole score is basically based on the fact if you like the first one. It's a 3 out of 5 if you like the first one. I gave the first one, I believe, a 4 out of 5. This one is not as good as the first one. The only best part about it is James Ransom's character. The kids are okay. Bagul, he's walking around all the time. He's coming at you everywhere, and it kind of has a stupid ending, just like the first one. The ending sucked on this movie. I thought the very end of this movie kind of sucked. But yeah, if you like Sinister 1, I think you're going to kind of like Sinister 2. I'm not saying go out to theaters. I'm not saying pay full price. You might want to rent it, watch it at a bargain matinee or something. But 3 out of 5 as far as Sinister movies go, I would say. So tell me what you thought of Sinister 2 down below. What were the inconsistencies? What were the parts you didn't like? What were the parts you liked? I'm kind of interested in hearing about it because I can finally talk about it. And I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye.